Hi, thanks for joining me today. Let's talk about the greatest open house and the steps that you need to do to make the greatest open house. Let's talk about seller's preparation tasks. There's a list of items and things that the seller should do before you do your open house. Here's a great list to give to your sellers before you get there. Vacuum the furniture and the floors. Clean the front door and the windows. Remove the debris from the walkways, so when you're walking up to the house, it's nice and clean. Clean off the front porch area. Pick up newspapers, mow the grass or shovel the walks. Replace all the light bulbs in the exterior and the interior, so that way when the buyers are walking through the property, it's nice and bright. Clean up after the pets. If there's a litter box or maybe a dog run or maybe the animals live in the backyard, you want to clean those areas so it's nice and clean. Sweep and mop all the floors. Clean the kitchen sinks and the counters. It's important that you have all the things that are on the counters regularly taken off and put away so it's nice and clean look. Clean the bathrooms, the sinks, the toilets, the tub, the showers, the doors and the floors. And also you want to make sure all the countertops in the bathroom are empty as well. Empty all the trash before the open house. Store dirty laundry in the hamper so there's no dirty laundry laying out. Everything needs to be put away. Remove all the clutter from the rooms. Pick up kids' toys. If there's kids' toys there, you want to remove all the dirty dishes and get those clean and put away. Open all the windows the morning of, and so that way there's a nice breeze coming through the house and it smells fresh. If possible, also during the open house, you want to make sure that you remove all the pets. And then remove valuables, guns, medication, any jewelry. Make sure all that stuff's either removed from the house or put away so there's, just in case someone walks through the property, nothing ends up missing. Here's a list of open house items that you're going to need. You're going to need a detailed full MLS printout of your home you're holding open. In case it's not your listing, you have all the information you need. You want to do at least 25 open house directional signs throughout the area. And on those signs, I would put balloons, and then in the yard, I would put flags. Make this a huge event. The bigger the event, the more attraction you can get and more people you get to the house, the better opportunity for you it is to picking up buyers, right? You want to bring a stack of business cards so you can make sure you hand those out to people. A home brochure where you can go to Circle Pix if it's not your listing and you can create a brochure for that open house. If it's your listing, you'll be able to print your brochure out for the open house as well. You want to have 3 of the top listings in that area that are very comparable to your listing, right? Or the listing you're holding open. In case a buyer comes in that property and that isn't their dream home, you have 3 other options that you can show the buyer to potentially maybe pick them up as clients, right? Have a notebook so you can jot down notes for the seller on feedback, or you might have a discussion with the buyer and they want to tell you what they're looking for, or you want to write some notes about that particular buyer so you can later go on KV Core and put some notes in. That's what a notepad's for. You want to have the open house app sign in ready to go. So that way the day of the open house, it's ready to go. You bring some snacks, maybe cookies or water bottles or juice boxes. Have some sort of snack there so when people come in, they can have a refreshment. Bring a book or a laptop computer so you can stay busy when people aren't in the property. You know, bring some music, a Bluetooth speaker, so that way it's not so quiet and you're helping with the ambiance of the open house. And then bring your phone charger, so you can make sure your phone's charged at all times, just for safety. Let's talk about the timeline now. 1 week prior to the open house, we want to pull the comps in the neighborhood. So you familiarize yourself thoroughly with the information and the neighborhood where you're doing your open house. You want to create a landing page for the open house. And then put that on social media so it invites a lot of people to the open house. If you create a landing page and you advertise an open house in the local MLS, then Circle Pix will actually grab that information and post that all on social media as well. So now the open house announcements on all your social media accounts. You want to create a text code for the open house and then make a sign through Circle Pix, have your text code, and you're going to then put that on the yard sign so people can text and get information from you. Make flyers and handouts with the landing page and the text code on them, so if they're not able to make the open house, They can go to the landing page or send a text and get all the information they need. Reserve the open house signs, right? So if you have open house signs, great. If you don't, you can reserve some open house signs from your local office. Map where you're going to place the signs out. Don't wait to the day of and try to figure out where you want your open house signs. I would print a Google map out and plan exactly where you're going to put signs, and then you'll know exactly how many signs you need to be the best route possible for the buyer to get to the property. Again, you want to put the open house in the MLS. So your local MLS, put that in your local MLS, and all the sites that your local MLS will pull from will now be all over line as well, which is great. Then 4 days before the open house, you're going to distribute the invitations, your door hangers that you made, and I would do at least 200 of them. And what I would do is I would knock, and if people are home, hey, this is Luke Michael Beard, Great Way Real Estate. How are you? I just want to invite you to an open house I'm doing at the Smith's house down the street, and give them the invitation. If they're not there, leave it on the door. You can also create those through CirclePix. Send text and email to your sphere. Let your sphere know, hey, I'm holding an open house this weekend. I would love to have you. Here's the address. Stop by. I'll have some snacks. It'd be good to catch up with you. And then that's 4 days before is when you're going to place that sign rider announcing the open house, the day and time, right? So you can do a text code that'll announce the open house, when it's going to be and what time, or you can put an additional yard sign rider that says the open house is going to be Saturday from 10 to 1. 1 or 2 days before, you're going to purchase all your water and your snacks. Then you're going to add the open house to the social media sites. And the way you can do that is you can use our 100% automation, our CirclePix site, to announce the open house. So once you go in the MLS and announce the open house when the open house is, it'll announce it on CirclePix sites, and it'll go to all your social media sites. Set up the open house app. So make sure the app is ready to go. So you're not messing with it the day of the open house, but it's ready to go on your computer. All you gotta do is turn it on, it's right there. You want to print out some flyers. You can do that through CirclePix as well. Print out some flyers so you can hand those out at the open house. And then make a register for free drawing tent card. So say you're going to maybe give away $25 Walmart or $25 Amazon or a mini iPad or whatever it is that you're going to give away, or maybe it's just some Great Way stuff, right? Some water bottles or some pop sockets or something. But have people register for that. And this is a good opportunity then to get their information, because they're registering for a free drawing, and that'll enable you to get information from them as well, right? Then 1 hour to 30 minutes prior to start, I want you to arrive at the house to set up. If my open house is from 10 to 1, don't show up at 9:45 and expect to be set up. You want to be at least 30 minutes prior to your open house, because it takes a while to get things set up. So you're going to arrive and set up at the house. You're going to walk into the property and turn all the lights on. You're going to straighten up. If there's anything out of place or you want to kind of move some things around, some small things around, go ahead and do that now. Then you're going to set up your flyers and all your marketing material on the kitchen table, or wherever the best line of sight is from where the front door is, so I can see who's walking in the front door. That's where you want to set up, right? You want to set up the open house up right next to the front door, so when they come in, they can sign up, or on the kitchen table, wherever you're going to be. You want to turn on the soft music to create the ambiance, right? You want to lay out your snacks and drinks to get ready. And then you want to go out and put the open house signs up. So you want to go to the farthest point from the house and work your way back. So that way when you get to the open house, you're ready to go, and you're not trying to, once you put those signs out, people are going to follow you back. So if you haven't set up the open house inside yet, it's not going to be good, right? So we always want to set the house up first, then the signs, farthest point, and then work our way back in, okay? During the open house. When they walk in, hi, I'm Luke Michael Beard, Great Way Real Estate. How are you doing today? Then at that point, they're going to respond to you, and there's going to be two different types of personalities. There's going to be a little shy personality, right? I'm a little shy, which is called the soft sell approach. Maybe I don't require my visitors to sign in, and I don't walk them around. I let them kind of walk around, and if they have questions, then they can come back and ask me questions. And I just say, hey, I'm here. I'll be sitting right here. If you need anything, feel free to look around and ask questions if you need it. That's okay if you're shy, but it's not okay if you want to get the business. Because with that type of approach, it's very hard. If they don't sign in, first of all, it's not very safe. Then you don't have their information, if you want to later pursue them, or if we have a price change in the property that you're doing the open house on, you have no way of getting a hold of these people and letting them know. So it's really important that if you try that attempt, it's probably not going to work to the best of, and for your success, to be successful at open house. So what you want to do is get comfortable. Take the hard sell approach, and what that is you require them to sign in. Hey, my seller requires all visitors to sign in, so can you please just sign in? Once they've signed in, now you have their information in your CRM, and you can further down the road advertise to them, market to them, right? Now you're building your database, and you're building a relationship with them. Then I would walk them through the property and build a relationship as you go. Hey, so what do you think of this? And then while you're walking them through the property, you're pointing things out. On the little shy, soft sell approach, I'm not having a conversation with them, so I'm not building the relationship. On the hard sell approach, I am. So what do you think of this? This is brand new tile. What do you think of that? Hey, so do you have a family? Do you have kids? What do you do for work? You're building the relationship as you walk through the property with them, which then in turn, you'll be way better off on them coming back and possibly using you as the real estate agent. A couple things to remember: you're in that home to sell that home, right? That's your first obligation. But if the potential buyer isn't interested in that house, you want to make sure you have some of the other properties in the area pulled up and printed out that you can give to them. Because if they don't like that, you can still potentially pick them up as a client and say, hey, what do you think of this house? Do you think you can see yourself living here? No, I really don't. That's okay. I've done the Liberty, and I've printed out some other ones in the area because you like the area, right? Yeah, I love the area. Tell you what, look at these MLS sheets, see if you like any of these, and if you do, I'll be done here in, say, 3 hours, and I can meet with you and show you those properties. How's that sound? Oh, that's fantastic. So you're building that relationship, and you're going the extra mile to help people find homes, right? Number two is, imagine if the seller has a hidden video, which a lot of them do right now, right? You never know when you're being watched. Don't do anything the seller wouldn't approve, right? So if I tell the seller I'm going to be in open house from 10 to 1, then I show up before 10 and I don't leave until 1. I don't leave at 12:45 because that's not what I promised, right? Do what you told the seller you were going to do, or the listing agent. If it's not your listing and I'm holding somebody else's house open, and I say I'm going to be there from 10 to 1, I better be there from 10 to 1, right? Also, when an open house has good energy, it's easy to chime in on people's conversations when you're actually approaching them and having a conversation with them. That's why it's better to be outgoing at the open houses too, and start conversations with the people that are in the house. So when you're walking them around, start conversations with them. The more conversations you can start with these prospective buyers, the better relationships you're going to build. When it's time to go, this is what I want you to make sure you're doing. Turn off all the lights, close the curtains as they were found, right? Clean up all the trash left behind by the visitors, or maybe you had some water bottles that you were handing out and people left them there. Grab all that stuff. You want to leave the house better than it was before. Close all the closet doors and the shower doors, and check the toilets. Make sure everything's been flushed or shut, right? Because a lot of times when people are walking through these open houses, they're going through all the doors and the closets and opening and shutting things. And you just want to make sure it's the same way as as when you got there, right? Make sure all the exterior doors are secure. Make sure your brochures are taken with you, right? Because if it's not your listing, or even if it is, you want to take those extra brochures with you. Leave the seller a note on the notepad that you should have brought. Leave a seller a note. Hey, we had 6 people walk through and this is what their feedback was. And then if it's not your listing, make sure you reach out to the listing agent and let them know, hey, this is how many people came in and this was the feedback. Because if you treat the listing agents and the sellers with respect and give them feedback, the next time if you don't have a listing and you want to hold someone's open house open again, they'll let you do it because you're respectful and you told them how many people you had, you gave them the feedback, and you left the house better than it was, right? Then you go outside and you take the name writer off, the sign writer off, the for sale sign, right? That says when the open house was, or the text code that you've created. You want to take that down. And then take your open house signs. So now when you're leaving though, you want to take your open house signs from the house and work your way out, right? Follow up. that evening or the next day at the latest. You want to follow up with any buyers you met at the open house. You want to call them, you want to email them, you want to text them. I want you to send thank you cards to all the neighbors and everybody you met at the open house. And you're thinking, well, why would I send thank you cards to the neighbors? Because there was a lot of extra traffic there. Or maybe you had them watch out for you. You told the neighbor, hey, can you watch just to make sure if you see anything different or suspicious, can you come over and check on me? Send thank you cards to all those neighbors for saying, hey, thank you so much for allowing me to hold Mr. and Mrs. Smith's house open. It was a great turnout. If you ever need anything, let me know, and maybe include in a card, right? And then the next time, maybe when they're looking to buy or sell, they'll remember you because none of the other agents out there did that, right? If someone asks you a question to do a little bit of research on that property or another one, do the research right away and call them with the answer, right? Potential buyers ask you to email them some listings, do it that night. Don't wait till the next day and then call them and say, hey, I just sent you the additional listings that you asked for. Would you like to maybe go take a look at them, right? The next day you want to deliver the prize. If you did a drawing for the prize, and do a Facebook Live, show up at their work or their house. Hey, this is Luke with Great Way Real Estate. We had an open house yesterday, and now we're going to present the winning prize. And then do a Facebook Live and see if it's okay if you post it on your social media. Put all your clients into your database. A lot of them will automatically be in the CRM if you use the open house app, but if not, make sure you put them in there. And then take the notes. If you made any notes about the buyers specifically on your notepad, add those into your KV Core so you know exactly and you remember who you talked to. And remember, if you act as a broker that wants the business, you'll get the buyer's business, you guys. Most agents won't even follow up, right? So if you do, you'll be a step ahead of the competition. So make sure you follow up right away with these potential clients. Congrats. You have just completed your first open house or your 100th open house. I hope this information helps you, and good luck.